Hey folks, Backcountry Bushcraft here with another video. I'm just out here bullcrapping around because I love this shelter and I can't stay away from it. But again, the mosquitoes are horrible out here today. So my main goal first is to go ahead and get a fire going so I can go ahead and smoke away these mosquitoes. Oh, I got something in my eye. Hate when that happens, man. Oh, something like bounces up and gets in your eye. And you drop something or set something down. Oh, it's out now. But I've got me a bunch of stuff hidden under there, under my bed, like tinder and stuff like that. This is the birch bark I'm going to peel off and use. I've got some more birch bark up here on my ridge pole. Those will catch a fire still easily. Just gonna crumple it all up. These freaking mosquitoes, man, out here right now, they're no joke. Yeah, I still have some improvements to do on my shelter. I still have to cover up these holes. You guys can see here. This pole for the back wall, I'm gonna peel off all this bark. I'm gonna use it to cover up the holes. I don't want bark sticking off my logs like that because spiders and other bugs, you know, camp out in there. And then when you're sleeping here at night, they're crawling all over you, and I don't want that. She's coming along good for right now, but I still have a lot of work to do on it. And this is not going to be my only shelter out here. I plan on building one over there, not like this one, but similar. It's going to be a lean-to with a bed, but on the back I'm only going to have I'm going to have a stick right here, and a stick right here. Then I'm going to tie with paracord a couple sticks across, and then I'm just going to have like a tarp shelter on the back there. And I might throw some brush on there and some leaves and stuff to hold the tarp down. Check out my nail gene with my Joe Robin at Bushcraft sticker. He's a cool guy, man. Cool guy. Can't go wrong with watching his movies, I'll tell you that. Sorry, videos. Look at them curls. Look at them curls, boys. Fuzzy curls. Look at them curls. Time to cook me up some rice, folks. With my 12-centimeter billy can. I'm going to keep my fork in here because it needs to be disinfected, so I'm going to go ahead and boil some water in this first to clean it all out. And then I'm going to boil some water again and then cook my rice. I should have made me a pot hanger. You know what? It's not too late. This should do. Stick it in the fire reflector. I just need to carve a little thing to hold the pot. Should do. And where should I put her? Perfect, folks, perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and build me a better fire reflector and a better pot hanger. But today, unfortunately, I don't have time for that. I'm just out here cooking some dinner over the campfire and hanging out at the shelter for an hour or two. Can you folks hear that? Sounds like it's boiling in there, and the pot's wiggling back and forth. So that water's boiling. Let's go ahead and check her out. Oh yeah, she's boiling. Fork is all sanitized, ready to go. Pour the rest of that dirty water out of there. Now it's time to pour some clean water in there. Put the lid back on. And put her back over the campfire. Just like so. We'll go ahead and let that water boil and cook up my rice. Can you guys hear that plane? I got a plane flying above me. Finally got the clean water to a boil. So let's go ahead and throw in the rice. I'll go ahead and let that rice boil up first. Then I've got the seasoning packet right there that needs to be thrown in there too. Not sure if you guys can see it, but right here, this stick right here, I carved this end and this end, and I'm going to be making me a bow drill set. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that after I'm done with my rice that's cooking right there. The fire's dying down a little bit, so I need to go ahead and throw some sticks on the fire to go ahead and keep it going. Remember guys, only dead logs, only dead sticks. Never cut down live things. Because it destroys the wilderness. Not only does it destroy the wilderness, but it's also illegal. I know here in the States, it's illegal. Unless you own the property. Now I really like these hiking pants because the ground right here in front of my shelter is kind of soaked, like the soil is wet. And whenever I kneel down, I just brush my pants off, and like in 2 or 3 minutes, these things are already dry. I love them. And they're perfect in the summertime. You can wear these in the summertime because wind blows right through them. They're definitely not for winter, I'll tell you that. They're for like spring and summer. But wind blows right through them. If you can go swimming in these, get them wet, and you can walk around the woods. They're light as heck. And they keep you cool if they're wet. So I bought these for summer, and I've got a couple pair for the winter camping trips, or for when I'm out here camping at my shelter in the wintertime. At night, if you're here sleeping, literally when there's a full moon, you can see it shining in the field right there, and it shines through the woods here. Gives me plenty of light because it's wide open up here, and it looks beautiful, guys. A bright shining moon with a clear sky, warm weather, a campfire, and a good lean-to shelter. Man, you can't ask for anything better than that. Oh, I've got some leaf litter in there. Oh no. It's alright, it's not going to harm me. Alright. Look at that rice, boys. Look at that. Hoo hoo hoo. Cheddar broccoli. Cheddar broccoli rice. Num 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 num. That looks really good though, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in the seasoning, stir it up, and put it on the campfire for a little bit longer. Make sure I get all the stuff on the bottom. You know what? I changed my mind because it looks perfectly fine. I'm just going to go ahead and set it on the side with the lid on it and let that seasoning kind of settle into the rice a little bit, because the rice is fully cooked. But I like to make my rice different. I like to put in the seasoning after just because I think it tastes better. You know, everybody does things differently, but that's just how I do it. All right, it's time to eat up this rice and see how she tastes. Ooh, she looking good too. Cheddar cheese, broccoli, rice. That hits the spot. Then to wash it down, I got me some lemon water. Man, that sounds like a big jet flying over. Not sure if you guys can hear that. She's pretty loud. This is good stuff. Having dinner out in the woods at your lean-to shelter, beautiful weather, and you can't beat that. It's a perfect day off work, I'll tell you that. When I first walked out here, the mosquitoes were horrible. Now they have calmed down a little bit, probably because of the smoke from the campfire, which is a good thing because I love campfire smoke. Well, I love the smell of it. I know it's not good for you, but you know, everybody loves the smell of campfire. It's just that smell you can't get away from, or stay away from, you know, especially if you're a bushcrafter or a hunter who likes to go deer camping and stuff like that. I've got a deer camp 5 miles from here, and I love camping there. Every winter I'll camp there during deer season. It gets a little cold outside, but that's the risk you take. You know, I'm used to it now. I live in Michigan, so it gets pretty cold here. Well, that campfire died down pretty quickly. Guess it's time to throw on some more wood. Alright, got the campfire going back again. Well, I've got it caught on the little sticks I've got here. The sticks are a little wet, I can tell, because of how they're burning, but they're getting the job done. They're not very wet, they're just kind of damp. I finished my rice, and I always carry a jug of water out here to put my campfire out, because I don't want to leave anything burning. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour some of this into my billy can. I've got my fork sitting in here now. I'm just going to go ahead and pour this water in there, throw it on the campfire, boil up the water, and clean out my pot and clean my fork. That's how you do dishes in the bush, guys. Where's my lid? Here it is. Go ahead and put those together. Bring my pot hanger back over. Well, she still wants to stand up. There we go. We'll just leave that on the campfire. Let that water boil and clean my pot. Pulling out some paracord in hopes of making a bow drill. Alright, I've already got this one started. I've got my little angles cut in there, whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to go ahead and tie my paracord around it. I'm sorry folks, I'm not a very talkative person, but you know, I'm working on that. I really am. And then we all know the Canadian jam knot. You just pull that baby tight and she usually stays in place. So I'm just going to go ahead and wrap that around a few times. Call that good right there. Then you don't want it too tight. You just wrap it around the other end. We all make these things differently. If you guys have a better way of making these, then please share that in the comment section below. But this is how I make my bow drills. I haven't made one in years. This is the first one I've made within the 8 years. College really pulls you away from things. Yeah, this shouldn't be too bad. This will work. You put the spindle in there, then you spin it back and forth. Yeah, this should work. Okay. Got that section completed. Now I just need to make me a spindle. I make spindles a decent length, probably about maybe 8 inches, 6 to 8 inches. People make theirs different sizes, but they do burn down pretty quickly if you know what you're doing. Just make sure your spindle is as straight as possible too. That's kind of a weird sound. Alright. I'm not going to show you guys entirely how to make a bow drill because I just don't have time today. But one end you carve almost to a point, and that's the point, and that's the end that you're going to use your hand holder to hold the spindle with. And then this end, you just sharpen it just a little bit, not to a point, just a little bit. And that's the point that sits into the board and spins. And then this is the top where you've got your little holder. You hold the spindle and it spins. You're not trying to make friction with this top part. You're trying to make it with the bottom part here. So you don't want this to a sharp point. Just carve it good enough to where you can get some friction going with it. See, folks, that's pretty much what I'm talking about right there. I'll bring it closer for you. That's what I'm talking about right there for that end. And then the other end here, you just sharpen that to a point. Not a very sharp point, but to a point, if that makes any sense. And then obviously you make your board. That's going to make the chard. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, because I haven't made one in 8 years, but yeah, I'm sure you guys can look up videos on how to make a bow drill. They probably make them better than I do. Like I said, I'm still out here trying to learn. I'm not trying to make anything big out of making these videos. I like YouTube, and I like making videos, and I like coming out here. So, you know, coming out here and doing all this stuff gives me a reason to record and then go home and make a video. You know, that's just the things I like to do. I'm not here to impress anybody. I'm not here for anything. I'm out here learning myself, and I'm sure you guys might be learning as you guys watch my videos and other videos. You know, like I said before in my previous video, folks, you know, I used to be good at this stuff when I was younger because I had my cousin and my brother to show me all the stuff. And, you know, they all went off and did their own thing because I was one of the youngest ones. And then I ended up getting tied up with my 2 last years of high school, which were really busy because I was working 2 jobs and going to school. And then college started, and then, you know, I was in college for a while and still am in college, but I'm not going full-time anymore because I already finished my degree that I needed. So now I'm working on a second degree, but I'm going part-time, if that makes any sense. So now I have a little bit more time to come out here and do things, you know. At first, I didn't have time to come out here and do all this stuff. You know, I was working 2 or 3 jobs and going to college. You know, I was always at work or in class, or at home doing homework, or at home trying to catch up on my sleep. So I haven't been able to come out here and do all this stuff for like 6 or 8 years. And, you know, trying to bounce right back into it is a little rough at first. But, you know, when you're out here and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that from when I was younger, you know, it kind of rings a bell after a while. So that's kind of where I'm standing right now. So my videos aren't that good right now, you know, as majority of everybody else on YouTube. You know, nobody starts out a pro, you know. You watch some YouTube channels, they start out rough, and then 5 or 6 years later down the road, you're like, wow, their channel has really grown a lot, you know. And I hope that's where I'll be standing in 6 or 8 years, with a decent YouTube channel. And I just need, you know, as most people say, I need other people's support, comments, you know, advice, because it all helps out, folks. It really does. Negative comments, you know, if you don't like me, drop that down in the comment section. I don't care. You know, if you say my videos are crappy and I need to improve on this, drop that in the comment section below too, you know. You're just giving me advice on what I need to fix, you know. I'm not going to be mad because somebody told me off. You know, that's life. It happens. So, this is the first, like I said, the first bow drill I have made in about 8 years. So, I'm sure it'll work out fine after I fix it all up. But unfortunately, I have to get home in about a half hour, so I don't have time to sit out here, carve everything, make my spindle and everything else, because I gotta bounce right now. So I gotta go ahead and put my campfire out, clean everything else up. I like to leave my shelter nice and clean, so when I come back I don't have to clean up a bunch of stuff. So, and my girlfriend's calling me, so that's kind of a sign saying I need to go now. So, well, it was a pleasure, guys. I had fun eating dinner out here at my lean-to shelter, and I know it's not the best video, you know, but you gotta start somewhere, right? So this is Backcountry Bushcraft, guys. I thank you guys for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Please give it a thumbs down if you didn't like it, and please drop any comments you may have in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, folks, and please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.